Minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time, let's continue our conversation with Thava Indian Restaurant, which brings the flavors of Kerala, India to South Africa. It was founded by Mathew Abraham in 2009, inspired by his mother's cooking, and it has grown from Norwood, Johannesburg to Ballito in the KZN, serving authentic Kerala dishes prepared by chefs from India. Still on the line, joining us, we have Chef Philippe Frydman, as well as now the owner of the Thava Indian Restaurant, Mathew Abraham. Mathew, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
We are fantastic. Mathew, I need to ask, there are so many restaurants, Indian restaurants in South Africa, quite a few of them in Johannesburg, quite a few of them in Durban, in Cape Town. You felt like, no, they are not thoroughly representing India the way I remember my mother's cooking. Therefore, I need to start my own restaurant inspired by her.
Yes, it is true. Basically, what makes us different is, if I can term it, the home style cooking, what we have gone to. And especially where I come from, the Kerala, which is, as Philippe rightly said, it is called the God's own country. We have got a rich blend of different ethnic flavors in Kerala. We have got Hindu, Muslims, Christians, because the rich neighborhood. Basically, one goes to your neighbor to pick up another dish. You like the recipe, you start copying it up. That is what makes the Indian cuisine different. It's a blend of ethnic flavors. And India, if you take it as a whole, has got about 20 or 23 regional cuisines. And to blend it into a perfection is what we try to do. We started as basically a South Indian, predominantly a South Indian menu, but now we have blended into the other Indian dishes. If you starting from Kerala, we go to the Goan dish, which is the Vindaloo. Going into the Mumbai, the street food, which we call the chaat. Then we got the North Indian curries. So it's a blend of flavors which can satisfy every palate. That's what I feel what our strength is. And the basic thing is it's home style cooking. The chefs come from different parts. They are masters in what they do, and every dish is a perfect piece of art for us. That is how we consider each dish, and each dish is done with perfection, with love, with caring, and like Philippe mentioned, it's all done à la minute. We don't prepare in advance and keep. So it takes a bit of time for me to produce the dish to the table, but when it comes, it will be 100% home style meal, which you can basically cook in India, or which you can get in India. So what I am trying to do is to give a culinary treat or a culinary tour of India when you dine with me, of the different flavors, different tastes. I heard you also talking about whether it should be medium or hot. We have got different curries to meet each palate. If you basically come into your restaurant and say this is what your palate is like, our staff would be able to guide you through the best dish you can choose to match up with your expectations of the dish.
It sounds amazing. And when you said that you prepare them freshly, I was like, that's it. That is how you know you are in a real Indian restaurant, is when the food is prepared freshly. And I mean, that's very Ayurvedic. Let's talk about the difference between a South and a North Indian curry for those that don't know the difference, because you have both now, which is amazing.
The South Indian is what I would say. We have got a lot of coconut in the southern part of India. So most of our South Indian curries would have an additional ingredient like coconut milk or coconut ground coconut into the dish.
Yeah.
If you come to basically to any of the tawas and ask for a Kerala prawn curry, it is a prawn curry done in coconut milk and served in a coconut shell. So that is that distinct it is. So when you go into the North India, it is slightly richer. It has got a lot of rich ingredients like the cashews into the dishes. That is what I would basically say the difference is. North Indian dishes seems are normally more rich and slightly more spicier than the South Indian ones.
Mathew, congratulations on landing at Kempton Park there at the Empress Palace with Thava Indian Restaurant. Are there any other plans to expand the restaurant chain across not just South Africa, but beyond the South African border, perhaps into Africa?
We had a request before. The problem is managing everything from here. But actually, we are actively looking at other opportunities in South Africa at the moment, and each branch has got its own different ambience and setup. If you come to Emperor's, we call it the Grand Thava. It's basically designed to keep up with the stature and ambience of a palace. That's how grand it has been set up. So we invite you people to come and see what it is. Apart from the ambience, you will see that food is of excellent quality. Yes, so we are definitely looking at increasing our footprint within South Africa at the moment. Yes, if opportunities present itself across the border where we can have a strong management team, we will definitely go abroad.
All right, sounds wonderful. Perhaps just I believe Chef Philippe is still with us, if I'm not mistaken. I just wanted to wrap up with you, Chef Philippe, and ask you around, so what is the best way to kind of enjoy my experience? I mean, I asked you earlier, where do we start with the menu? And there are people that are going to be able to assist when we come to Thava. But should we be ordering a bit of everything, kind of like just tasting it, or a tasting menu? Do you have a tasting menu, or is it best to just have one dish on the table?
No, so we don't have a tasting menu as such.
Right. Okay.
But what we do recommend is, first, Indian food shouldn't be enjoyed on its own, unless you really don't want your friends to eat any of your food. But normally it should be enjoyed. It should be enjoyed with friends and families. And
Yes.
what we suggest is, really, when you come and just order around the menu, or let the management of the floor help you and order a various amount of dishes, and you just have a taste of everything. Because we've originally, when we did start, and I had my original meeting with Mr. Mathew, we were looking for, I think it's called the ESP or something like that. We were looking really something to be different besides the flavor, and we started doing what we called the tapas portion, which was basically, instead of having a 300-gram portion, you had a 140-gram portion.
Right.
And like that, two people could come and have 5 dishes instead of just having 2. And then the thing didn't work out once we started hitting the casinos. But what we noticed, a lot of people come and you just order for the table. You don't order for yourself. So you basically say, well, I'll have if we're going to have a whole lot of starters, then perfect. Let's have the palachat I was talking about earlier. Let's have some gobi chili, which is the mushrooms. Let's have maybe some chili chickens. You can order, and then when it comes to main course, have a bit of chicken, have a bit of lamb, some in curry, some in tandoor, so that you can all have a bit of an experience, and you're actually going to notice that a lot of most of the people at the table will have a different experience with the same food because of your palate.
Interesting.
And I think that's what makes Thava as maybe stand out of it. We were thinking of putting standard menus and say, well, we're going to have a degustation menu. The problem is that, at the end of the day, you feel like chicken, then take 5 types of chicken, if that's what you want, around the table. We don't want to force anybody in having this or that or that. So really, the staff in the dining room is trained to gather what, to try and understand what you're really looking out of your experience at Thava. And then if you're going to come back on your own, then come back on your own and say, you know what, I love the chicken vindaloo, I'm going to come back and only have that. But I'll be on my own, I'll come in, have a bite to eat and leave. But I mean, I think the whole idea is to try and experience with your friends and family really an array of foods coming out of those kitchens.
Sounds good.
I love the social aspect of the Thava experience. Mathew, I guess in closing, where can we find the nearest Thava restaurant in our area?
Leave it with our staff basically to guide you through the menu and let you choose the best dishes that can suit you. Because some people are allergic to dairy, some people are allergic to nuts. So we can cater for a whole variety of requirements. And the moment you say, I like, for example, lamb dishes, and I need it mild, the staff on the floor would be able to guide you through and say, this is what I recommend. And if you take their recommendations, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And I can confidently say, if you come back to the restaurant again, they would be able to tell you last time you tried, for example, a chicken or a lamb kurma, why don't you try a lamb something else this time? So they are so particular that we know that your requirement, what your requirements are, what did you have last time, what can we suggest this time. That's what makes the dining experience with Thava different from others. We work with you on the table basically to make your experience with us a memorable one.
Amazing. And Mathew, just a reminder of the locations of Thava.
See, we have got 3 branches in Gauteng. We are in Norwood, we are in Monte Casino, and off late we have opened in Emperors, that is in the Kenton Park side. We are based at Grand West Casino in Cape Town. We are in Durban. We are in 3 locations. One is in Suncoast Casino, the other one is in Sibaya, and the other one is in Ballito. That's where we are based. So basically Durban, Cape Town, Joburg is what we are covering at the moment.
Sounds wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This was such an interesting move through Kerala and really finding out about Indian cuisine, North and South, which is wonderful. You cater for both. Thank you so much. All the best.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much
for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. So I don't know, what do you feel like? Prawn, curry, korma?
I usually go for
paneer.
korma. I usually go for korma.
Oh,
myself.
You're a korma guy.
I love me a korma.
But which one? Chicken?
Lamb korma. Lamb korma. Love a lamb korma. I've tried butter chicken. There are different places that make butter chicken in a different way.
Yeah.
But korma is the one that stands out for me, and obviously you need to have it with naan. Naan bread.
Naan classic.
Classic. Now I see they play around with different types of naans. You've got the garlic and butter naan. You got the butter naan. You got
Did
the
you just say
plain
butter?
Butter. You got the butter naan. But
You did not just say butter.
no, I said butter. What do you mean? Isn't that how you say it? All right. 4 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is